Michael, and he does our shredding for us most of the time. And people bring in their documents that are confidential and reshred them for 20 cents a pound. It's kind of fun to operate the machine. You definitely don't want to stick your hands in there. But Mike, if you want to show them how you shred, that'd be great. Oh, can't put too much paper, and he's excited. So usually it's like one piece at a time. It's just there so the cardboard will stay there so all the shredding doesn't fall on the floor. And that's what most of these bales are made out of. It's called office pack, and it's a high-grade paper. And who wants it? We actually sell our paper to Weyerhaeuser. It's a big company, and I'm not sure exactly what they do with it. Some of it goes overseas, and some of it stays local. So that's our shredding operation. Good job, Mike. We can come out this way and we can see, no, I want to say that there is machinery out here. So if you guys can just stay kind of close and follow me. Yeah. So we move all of our bales and bins around with. Right now they're baling up cardboard, which is called OCC, old corrugated cardboard, and it turns into these bales. We can kind of come around the corner here and sneak peek in there. So all the cardboard gets dumped into the shed. We call it the baling shed. And it goes up the conveyor and it drops down. And inside of there's a big piece of metal that squishes it all together. These bales weigh about 1,980 pounds apiece. So there's a lot. If you imagine just one piece of cardboard, how much cardboard it takes to make a bale. So.
Come here and you'll be able to watch you put your bale through and just stay right here. Notice the wire on the ground.
Yep, everything gets tied by hand. It's inside of there. I don't really feel safe taking all of the kids into the shed, so we'll watch it from the outside. Up there, that's where all the cardboard goes up. Anything that we bale, I mean all the paper and cardboard and plastics and cans, everything that we bale around here goes up the conveyor. So you can see a cardboard bale coming out here. It's kind of cool.
How much does that weigh?
About 1,980 pounds is an average of our cardboard bales.
And what did you call this?
It's OCC.
Anyone know what OCC stands for? Occasionally current. Old corrugated cardboard. What's corrugated? We'll talk about that when we...
Yeah, we could look out there. So that's a bale of cardboard.
So let me see. That's about 25 kids all squished together.
Yeah, if you want to think of it like that.
Or more than that.
And all of our cardboard does go down to the local mill.
Where we're going next.
Oh, good, good. So you got to see that.
This way, guys?
So we just saw the corrugated cardboard getting baled, and corrugated means that the holes, you can see the holes on the side, that's corrugated. Anything like a cereal box, that's just considered mixed waste because it's not corrugated. It's actually called flat box. So that's corrugated. And then newspapers, pretty much anything you get in your Sunday newspaper or the Leader or anything can go straight into the newspaper. We separate the newspaper from mixed waste because it is a higher grade of paper and generates more money.
Oh. Do you have the other kind of cardboard too that doesn't have those?
Yep, that's actually considered mixed waste paper, which is in the next bin. And it's kind of too low to dig down in there to show you, but like I said, cereal boxes, soda pop boxes, anything that's it's called flatboard, which means it doesn't have the holes on the sides. So you can look in there and see if you see anything like that. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Yep.
When people put their recyclables out on the curb for pickup, are they supposed to separate the corrugated from the flat?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get to see him there.
You can look at the newspaper if you want. It's basically just anything that comes in the newspaper.
Can I see what you can? That's weird to see. Why are there different sections?
That's just the way the bins were made. I'm not really sure why. And this is our plastics bin, which it's pretty tricky when it comes to plastics recycling. We only accept certain kinds. One of them is, of course, water bottles, soda pop bottles, and those are called number 1 PETE, clear plastics. Another kind we accept is the translucent milk jugs or water jugs. Those are number 2 HDPE. And then the third kind of plastic we accept is solid colored number 2s, which are those like Tide bottles and bleach bottles. And some number 2s say recyclable on there, but we go by, it's called blow molded. And so there's a seam on the bottom of it, and that's the only kind of number of solid 2s that are recyclable. This is also recyclable. It does have a seam on the bottom. Let me see something that, anything like this, any kind of containers, food containers, all these kind of plastics, even though they might say, number 1 PETE on there, they're not recyclable. We actually end up just throwing those away when they come through our sorting conveyor. So
who sorts all this?
Our clients and staff. We have about 7 or 8 people on the sorting line all at once, and everybody kind of has their own section. One person will do cans, one person will do tin, and other ones will do plastic, glass, and paper.
So it actually comes on the belt.
Yeah, I'll show you guys.
Them
yep.
Until it comes to what is there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And of course, this is basic tin and aluminum cans. It does kind of get tricky, like these is actually a tin can. You can tell it's kind of gray on the bottom compared to an aluminum can. Tin also sticks to magnets and aluminum doesn't. So it can kind of get a little confusing to people. It just gotta kind of watch what you're doing. And
what about the lids?
They can go in there, but as far as when they go through the baler, most of them just fall out and it ends up going in the garbage because they don't compress in there. And aluminum foil can go in with aluminum cans as long as it's clean. It's sharp, so. Of course, the glass we accept is the Just Clear, and then the brown and green glass go together.
You accept all.
Yes. Yep.
Can't change it. Can't change it all.
Okay. These are pictures from Quilcing, so there is a recycling site.
Yep, there is at the transfer station in Quilcing. The number 2 solid colors that we do recycle, and of course this is the number 1. That bale probably weighs about 700 pounds, And both the number 1 PETE and the number 2 translucent milk jugs both weigh about 740 pounds. They do, because they're so compressed in there, and it really helps. So if you are recycling, to take off your caps, because when the caps are on, it doesn't let the air out, and it does, and so it doesn't compress in the bale. And sometimes they do explode, especially in the summer when there's heat and it expands.
So do you guys have to take the caps off?
Sometimes we do when we're trying to, when we sort it on this production line, we try and get as many caps off as we can, but it's hard because it goes pretty fast sometimes.
Yeah. How do you recycle it if it's getting squished up? And how do you use it again?
We send our plastics to Canada, so I'm not sure what they do with it. I've heard that they're actually making like benches and stuff out of recycled plastics, and house decks and stuff like that. It lasts longer, and there's no need to stain it. And
they do accept the caps even though they aren't numbered 1.
Yeah, it's not a contaminant. It just helps on our end, so we don't have the bales blowing up. It just takes a lot of time to clean up, and it's not very fun. So the tin bales go to Tacoma right now, to a manufacturer in Tacoma. This is, and it does get to contaminants in there. Aluminum bales are pretty, about 660 pounds for those, so it's a lot of cans.
Why is it what?
The wire broken.
She wants to know why the wire is broken.
It might have not got tight enough, or some, aluminum's pretty dense. I mean, as far as squishing it together, it stays together pretty good in like a cube. So it doesn't require a lot of tie on there. So this is going to stay together. It's not going to fall apart real easily. It probably just didn't get tied enough, or they forgot to tie it. I'm not sure. 1,580 pounds a piece.
So almost twice as much.
Yeah, it's definitely heavier.
Okay. So what are those?
Tin.
Tin? Can you guys see the difference between the tin and the aluminum?
Yeah.
And there is lids in there. I mean, some of them make it through and some of them don't, so.
And when people recycle like a tin can, do you guys like them rinsed out, or do you care?
It's nice if they're rinsed out, but it doesn't really matter. Some of them, like if they come up like full of like bacon grease or something, that's not really good. We usually throw those away, or.
It just seems a shame that you're using water to rinse it out.
Yeah.
You'd like to conserve water.
Yeah. Green glass that we do get from curbside recycling and our other bins throughout the county, it comes in mixed and they take it like that. We used to have to sort the glass on our sorting line, but it just got too much as far as machinery and costs of sorting. So we just basically ship it straight from the ground over, and they sort it over there.
So it goes over to those bins first, then you guys truck it over to here.
Yep.
So what do you think is going to happen to all this glass now? All these bottles?
Splash.
What's going to happen first?
Melt. Break. Melt.
Who's going to do that? No.
Not anymore.
Machine heater.
So where is this going next?
This goes over to from this pile, it goes over to those bins, and then from those bins, they get hauled over to Seattle. It's called Fibers International in Seattle.
Okay.
And they actually have people that sort online, and they also have machines that sort the glass. As far as lasers and stuff, it gets pretty and they can tell what color the glass is.
I thought they were gonna have like one of those that in like World War II, but instead shooting laser beams at it.
So you have something like this. It's going to pick them up from.
Actually, that one right there. It is the Jefferson County land transfer station, but they actually help us out by loading our glass for us. Our machine's just too small to really handle it. We used to put it into like these bins right here. We'd fill up those bins and dump it in there, but it's kind of dangerous because of the weight and the forklift. So they were kind enough to help us with loading that up. It helps when you're recycling glass to not have any old food products, as far as like pickles or stuff like that. You want to get rid of that before you put it in the recycling. But I just want to say this is what we call our holding bay for cans and plastics. So when you recycle on your curbside or at the bins in Quilcene, you put your cans and your plastics all in the same bin. It comes back here from the truck and it gets dumped into, right there is our, what we call a pit. It's basically our sorting conveyor that runs up, and this is our extra holding bay. And all that, it just comes up here. And drops down onto the conveyor. And any different kind of bin you see here, we have one person stand on it or two, and they basically sort it. There is, underneath that part right there, there's a magnet that catches most of the tin that comes up, and then the rest of the tin, a person throws it in there. So yeah, you can look inside. We have our number 2s, our milk jugs, our number 1s, and then another aluminum because there is so much aluminum that we need 2 bins.
So they grab it from the belt and throw it into the bin it belongs in.
Yep. And then of course paper, because paper is always kind of getting mixed up with other stuff, and glass at the very end. And then the rest of the garbage just goes, off the end, and we haul it over to the transfer station.